why Donald Trump sent his personal lawyer slash Deputy AG Todd Blanche to visit with Ghislaine Maxwell, while he raced down there completely against all protocol, because here we go. We now know.
The White House, they believe that the story in the Wall Street Journal about the birthday greeting that Donald Trump, the salacious birthday greeting that Donald Trump sent Jeffrey Epstein in 2003 on the occasion of his 50th birthday, was a leak from the Maxwell family. And in the White House, they regarded this as, quote, a shot across the bow. So a threat, if that Ghislaine had damaging material on Donald Trump.
Okay, so here we have a man that sent the AG, the Deputy AG of the Department of Justice, to go talk to a convicted felon with her attorneys, but nobody else there. While Congress is seeking to depose her, testimony, the whole nine, he sends them down. And I just thought, that's corrupt. Obviously, that's not how it should be done. But they go down, they give her immunity, and then it's alleged that she's given him 100 names. Donald Trump's not going to be on that list because she knows Donald Trump is the only person that can get her out of trouble. The White House knows that he has to play ball with her, and that's exactly what he did. Why MAGA is not in just absolute shambles about that, since they're so anti-pedophile? He is making a deal with the devil, and he's doing it to cover his own ass, despite the victims, despite everybody else.
Well, because he's a sexual offender as well. I mean, you start with that he sent somebody to go talk to a convicted felon. Well, Trump is a convicted felon.
Right.
I mean, being a criminal and being a sexual abuser is a prerequisite for being in this organization. And MAGA acts like they care about the kids. They only care about the political party identification of the offender. That's all they care about. Donald Trump endorsed a pedophile in his first term to run for United States Senate in the state of Alabama. That was not the end of him. He endorsed a guy named, I think his name was Roy Moore. That wasn't the end of him. This Donald Trump and these sexual assault allegations and talking about wanting to screw his daughter and saying that, he likes to run and look at teenage girls that are naked and he can do it because he owns the pageant. This has been out there the whole time. I have zero expectation that MAGA is going to be upset, even if Ghislaine Maxwell came out and said, hey, look, Donald Trump was raping young girls, and it's on video. What Donald Trump said about his cult was 100% right in 2016. I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and my supporters would still like me. These people have no conviction, and Trump has given them a permission structure to have no conviction. They have no empathy, and Trump has given them a place to nurture, pet, comb, and manicure all of their rage into one place. And this cult will exist long past Trump. I think it's going to be more fractured, but this doesn't surprise me at all. I think what's interesting about that video is that he thinks the source of it is Ghislaine Maxwell.
Right.
And that she's like, her attorneys are saying, okay, well, let's send this so that we'll get him over here. But I already noticed that this is already dying down in MAGA world, this whole thing, because they don't care if it's Bill Clinton, if it's Barack Obama, if it's Hillary Clinton, they're all chips in. Let's protect the kids. If it's a few Republicans, they're going to fall right in line.
It's a good thing they feel that way, because we continue every time I open up the news to see another Republican politician with child sex issues, like whether it be on film, procuring for personal use. I mean, it's fucking gross. But here's the thing that I think Donald Trump thinks he's going to live forever and be the president of the United States forever. Because when I saw this from the Daily Beast, I thought he doesn't give a fuck. Trump is seriously considering issuing a presidential pardon for Sean Diddy Combs before his upcoming sentencing. What I have to say about that, again, convicted of sexual allegations. universally, the world has turned away from P. Diddy because of the deplorable acts that he committed against women, regardless of the verdicts. We all heard what this man did. It tells me Donald Trump thinks it's fucking fine. But like you said, this is no newsflash.
He thinks it's fine. He let the Tate brothers come back in here. I mean, I'm 0% shocked at this. Trump is a convicted felon. Trump is an adjudicated rapist, and racist, quite frankly, a very appropriate Freudian slip. Look at the allegations against Hegseth. Look at all of the allegations of all of these Republicans. MAGA is the party of sexual deviance. 0% surprised at that. His track record for decades has been this. I'm shocked that people are shocked.
Right. Like, it's not breaking news to those of us that have paid attention to his life and all of the people that he have sued him or made allegations against him. I mean, grab him by the pussy. That should have been the breaking point, but it wasn't, because they liked him because he hates who they hate.
And he gives them this whole thing. I'll never forget this. When he won the second term, there was a Wall Street Journal article, and there was like some finance bros, and they were like, it's so great because now we can say RETARD and we can say pussy again. And it's just, they feel like being, having empathy is, it's painful for them, because they just want to be savage. They don't want to be better people. They want to be entitled. And Donald Trump unlocks that in people, and he makes people worse. Everybody I know that is a triple Trumper has become, they were worse. They were bad to begin with, but they've become progressively worse. And now they're just heaping piles of dog shit, of whom I can barely look at. If I know somebody voted for Trump 3 times, to me, it is such a disqualifying thing. And to know that they still support this piece of shit. This is just the sex shit.
Right.
When you get to like the way he treats black and brown people, we can just go on and on and on. The attack on just poor people. It's just, it's so abhorrent. And the damage that he is doing to this country is going to far outlive his 4 years. We have 3.5 years left. It's going to far outlive it, Pumps, because what we have told the world is that we have an electorate that is depraved, that values corruption, that doesn't give a shit about transparency, that applauds sexual abuse, sexual assault, that applauds misogyny, that props up racists. They like it. The American public, the people who voted for this man, like it, and they will die on the hill. And that is the unrelenting damage that this man has done. Because I don't know how long Taco Tits is going to live. I'm no doctor, but he doesn't look that healthy to me. But the depravity that he's unlocked in a percentage of the American public is a big fucking problem.
No, I completely agree. He's emboldened all of these people to be the worst selves.
I want to tell you guys, I was abroad on vacation with my family, and I was in the sun too much, wore a lot of sunscreen, but still was in the sun too much. And I had this little rash, and I got home and I was like, I better go get it checked out. I hate going to the doctor, but Pumps is always on me. So I got on my ZocDoc app, immediately coordinated me with a skincare specialist that takes my insurance, and my appointment is tomorrow.
Well, what's so great about ZocDoc is wherever you are, they have doctors, either family practice or specialty doctors. They can book the appointment. They tell you how close the person is. People have reviewed them, so you know what they are like, and you can do it all from the comfort of your home.
Appointments made through ZocDoc also happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours, just like I told you guys. So listeners, stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/IHIP to find and instantly book top-rated doctors today. That's ZocDoc.com/IHIP, ZocDoc.com/IHIP.
Okay, so Trump, his entire life, has been able to distract and switch the narratives. And on the Epstein thing, he really hasn't been able to. I think he thought Obama rigged the election for him in 2016, was going to, freak people out, but he can't do it. So yesterday at a press conference, he's still trying to blame Obama. And then just hear what he has to say about Epstein, because he can't get rid of it.
They can do that in a fair way. I think it's great. I think it's really great. The whole thing is a scam. It's a scam set up by the Democrats, and they love talking about it. But I would like to see people exposed that might be bad, and we'll see how that all works out. But it's getting to be very old news. You know, if they had anything, they would have done it the week before the election because they were losing by a lot. If they had it.
Okay, I've heard enough. Here's the deal. He wants to talk about Hunter Biden's laptop, but the Epstein stuff, it's just too old.
Here's the thing with him. Everything that he's guilty of, he calls a hoax. Right. The Russia hoax. It was a perfect phone call. And now it's the Epstein hoax. This guy is a perpetual victim, which I understand that happening in solitude. He's a whining titty baby, dementia ridden, cankles out the wazoo, can't blend his makeup, nut job. I totally get it. You know, a trust fund baby, silver spoon, mommy and daddy didn't love him enough, you know, just narcissistic personality disorder. I can understand that. The men that run around America with their I'm a big boy t-shirt on, and I'm talking about, and you see this MAGA coded merch everywhere in the United States. These t-shirts with the American flag that's kind of like black, and then it has one black line in it. It's got a grenade, and then it's got something that says like, you know, I'm a lion and I like grenades and America first, and I'm a super patriot. You see all this merch. For me, my question to all of these men is, when you hear somebody that's fucking whining, that can't tuck their tail between their legs and take ownership and be a badass, but they sit and constantly bathe and bask and shower in perpetually victimizing themselves and the whining and complaining. If you're this big alpha male that has to wear it with all your I'm a big boy merch stuff, when you hear that, is that not off-putting to you? Because I know it sure as fuck is to me. When I hear a man constantly whining and complaining, when I hear a woman constantly whining and complaining, when I hear a child constantly whining and complaining, nobody likes a fucking whiner except for MAGA. It's the party of sexual depravity and whiners, perpetual whiners, nonstop whiners. Trump, these should not be called the Epstein files. They should be called the Trump files, because this motherfucker is in the epicenter of them. He died on Trump's watch. He is accusing Epstein of stealing girls for them. 2 questions regarding that. Why do you have 14-year-olds working in your spa? Were you running a sex ring as well? I don't know. Sounds kind of fishy to me. I think all of this needs to be asked and answered. And it makes me kind of pissed off again at Merrick Garland. Why the fuck was all this shit? I agree, Trump. Why wasn't this all released then? Why not? Because Merrick Garland was a pussy. That's why.
Well, he was playing we're going to be good people politics, not realizing.
A pussy.
He was a pussy.
Yeah.
He was a pussy. All right. That's all we have today. Please like and subscribe to this video. Wait. Like this video and subscribe to our channel. Sorry.